Good morning, everybody. Just want to have some coffee with you today. I just got done watching Alex Mother Truckers video about the 200 truckers being let go from the company that had to close. Good morning, Nevada. Big face. Oh, she's getting big fast. She's I want to say tall, but she's a dog, so she's getting very long-legged and lengthy in her torso. So, yeah. Oh, hold on, let me fix my. I sprayed some Febreze, and I think I got some in my coffee cup. So I made it up north finally, and I'm in Illinois, no, I'm not quite in Illinois yet. I'm about to get in Illinois. I'm like right at the point of the lake where Indiana and Illinois start there, like Gary, Indiana. That's where I'm at. So I must be in Indiana. Good morning, Kelly Patterson, CB from Florida. Okay, are you home, CB? Dar says good morning. Stuart the Hobby Trucker. Good morning, y'all. Just poured some coffee. I didn't pick up my first load today until 2, so I got chill time. Yeah, Breeze coffee this morning. So yeah, what I was saying, I just got done watching Alex's video on these drivers getting let go and this company shutting down because of the soft market, and they lost their bread and butter client. That's a 200 truck company, and that really sucks. Jeanette Jameson, good morning. Welcome. TV says no working. Yeah, I was going to be down there, but, that was that load that canceled that I talked about last time. Kelly says, are you ready for Snowmageddon Part 2? No. And I'm wondering if I'm going to get caught in it because my loads for the week, I'm all booked up for the week. So I'm picking up this load here and I'm headed to Tennessee. I'm going to drop that off in Tennessee. I think it's some whiskey. And then I'm going to Virginia, picking up in Virginia, going up to Columbus, Ohio. And then from Ohio, I'm going to back over to Kentucky, the same town that I just left. I feel like I'm missing a load in between there. Probably not. No, that'll get us to Saturday morning. Then I'm going to take my 34. Normally I don't work on Friday, Saturday, but it's a short run and it's $3 a mile. And I just need like a shorty cap off my week just to throw some extra dollars in there for the week. So I took it. Mark the Mailman is in the house. Good morning. Grafton is in the house. Good morning. Snorlord is in the house. Good morning. Trucker Jason is in the house. Good morning. And in the chat, he says. So yeah, I don't know about the Snowmageddon. I haven't dug into the radar or the weather report yet. I'm just like, do I even want to know? I might just skip it because I'm going down and then back up. So what I'm concerned about is when I get up to Columbus. Kelly says probably should stock up on food. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a tough one for me right now. Pale Router TV says, what? Yeah, I definitely have Febreze in my cup, and then I put my coffee into it. I should have wiped it out first or something. Yeah. So, please hit the like on the way in, everybody, please. I got a funny story for you. I mean, it's not so funny. It's funny to me because if anybody would have seen this or did catch it on video and posted it somewhere, So I'm all dressed up in uniform today, right? To go to work. I'm on my phone with a broker this morning. Dee Dee's like, making all kinds of noise. She's got to go out for her morning potty. So I get all layered up and whatever because I'm in the snow. Snowed here yesterday. And I grabbed the box of trash. I had a box, so I just put everything in it. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna take a walk anyway. So we walk over to the trash bin, and I just throw everything in there. So, thank God it's a short trash bin because I throw my phone in there by accident. I just threw it in there. So I look down there, and there's not much trash in it. It was empty. They must have just cleaned it. So guess what? I had to figure out how to get it out. So it's short enough, right? So the little thing where the hooks hook in, pick it up. I stepped on that. I straddled over. I got in the trash bin. I got my phone. And then I had to get out. Well, your girl here is still flexible. Okay. So I did high leg over the thing and then hiked myself up there and got over the side with my phone. How you like that story? So there's a lot of trucks here. I hope they're all sleeping, but I'm all in bar attire. So what a freaking post that would be. Dart driver, garbage picking. So yeah, I gotta fix this coffee situation. It's too much for barista. Just forget it. Let's start over with that. So as you can see, it's very snowy. There's probably maybe an inch. I don't know. The road's looking good though, so I'm not worried about it. Yesterday was getting kind of sketchy because as I was coming in, it was freezing and it was raining and turning into a situation. It was getting colder and whatever. But the salt trucks were out, so I figured, well, I can't get much closer to the shipper than about 50 miles, which is where I'm at right now. And as much as I would want to get there at night, away from traffic and all that, I have a terminal that was 16 miles away, but then, that's an extra 30 miles, guys. So I decided to stop before the shipper here. And I was empty, and it was really windy last night coming down by the lake. So you know how I feel about that. So I was like, yeah, I'm feeling a little skittish, so I'm just going to quit. And I had an hour left. There wasn't really much. The only next truck stop I could have went to was Gary right there, right? And I just didn't feel like messing with all of that. And this thing is why I love these big open parking lots that are here that are just for trucks. So that's where I'm at. I'm at one of these. So good morning, Dodie. I was catching up on your videos this morning, Dodie. Good thing you're fat. Darcy's good thing you're fasting, Shannon. Yeah, exactly. Got to keep the grocery bill low right now, right? In the soft market we're looking at. So I was thinking about, Alex's story, and I was like, that's scary. And, I'm sure the megas have all their ducks in a row, but the story was this. You should go to Alex's channel, the trucker, to check it out. But because I'm going to try and take a story from her or nothing, but in a summary of it, if you haven't watched it yet, this small trucking company, about 200 trucks, had to shut their doors because they lost a major contract. And then their other customers were demanding lower rates. So there's no exact numbers of what those rates were, whatever. They were already contracted to get paid or whatever. But it just goes to show you, the first, shipper has to cut costs. So they have to make adjustments with the carrier. And then the carrier lost a huge contract or whatever. But anyways, when their other customers are coming with suggesting or demanding that they need to drop their costs, then it hit this trucking company so hard that they literally had to shut their doors. And it just makes you think, like, are we going to see, how long is this going to go on, right? And are we going to see this happen more? Because we've seen a few last year, right? We saw a few drop out last year. And then as a single lease operator myself, I think about my carrier, Dart. Like, oh man, I hope they're okay. Hope that doesn't happen to us. I mean, if that happened, I don't know what would happen to the truck lease agreement or whatever. I'm assuming it would still be okay because my contract to lease my truck is through a separate company. So I don't know, just kind of made me think about all that stuff, like, man, what domino effects, right? Trucker Jason says Shannon is fasting. She needs some meat on their bones. Oh no, I don't, brother. I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at. Now it's a point of just trying to be 50 years old and tone stuff back up, right? And get some elasticity back, like some. I've lost all the weight I really wanted to, but trying to get tight after you're this age, like, is a tough thing. Hence why I'm really pounding my collagen, because I'm reaching out for whatever. I hope the signal's okay and everything. Dar says, Jason, she's lost weight. She eats keto weight. You can see the difference from older videos now. Can you? Yeah, it's hard for yourself to see the difference, right? I don't know. I do feel like I've gotten, my skin, like, I'm not trying to get too intimate with you guys about it, but I'm just we keep it real here, right? So things are, not just springing back into place like when I was 20 years old or whatever. Obviously, I'm not trying to, I'm admitting that it's my age and it's whatever. But my weight loss was so good and fast, my skin just can't catch up with it, right? So I had to start looking into, let me know if my signal goes wonky, because on the StreamYard thing, the little signal thing keeps going back and forth. But, so I'm like, okay, what can we do? Get back to, youthful looking skin. So I'm working on that right now. I think it takes time. You can't just drink a cup of collagen and wake up, everything's all back to perky. This is a work in progress here. I got to clean up my coffee cup. It's terrible. I just want to show you Mischief back here, okay? When I go live, she starts getting mischievous. She's got a piece of cardboard back there. She reaches for whatever she can get her little teeth on. So look at her. So she can go ham. I'm gonna let you enjoy that for a second. Full of energy. Oh yeah. No, see, and then when the toilet paper comes out, you can't have the toilet paper. No. Where's your bone? Here. Ball. Get your ball. Get your ball. See, so as you can see, she's finally at a large enough size where she can jump up on the bed by herself, which is kind of a relief, kind of a nuisance sometimes. Because I used to put her down, and she, like when I would eat and whatever, and she would sit there and stare at me. And so now that she can jump up there, like, she's got to go back in her crate when I eat dinner. But I try to keep that a practice. But she's so much fun, and she's so smart. I know the focal point's going to be over there, because she's just doing her little thing. It's okay. Big Rig CEO is in the house. Good morning. Stepped in at Trucking is in the house. He says, you look great. Keep it up because you got to keep up with me at 60. Yeah. Yeah. So you feel me? You know, it's like trying to hang on, man. Trying to hang on tight. And it's just because I have this fear of, okay. I've always been a health nut and I've always been a gym rat. I used to compete in weightlifting, bench pressing, right? So I have all these trophies, and then after that, I wanted to go into bodybuilding. So I hired a professional coach, and I did, I started working to, get on stage and do all that. And that stopped because once I got so far into that industry and realized that it's all fake, like it totally took my passion away for it. I just wanted to do one show, right? To just to say that like I made it there. So I think that's helped me look younger. Just the health thing, right? Taking care of myself and getting exercise and all that, eating right and all that. I think that helps me look younger. But when I look at God bless everybody, I'm not trying to offend anybody, please. Okay. But when I look at my high school people, a lot of my friends that are the same age as me haven't aged well. Now, mind you, most of them are still drinking, still smoking, not doing stuff and whatever, or dealing with illness. God bless them, right? But I'm like, oh my God, I want to stay young as possible, as long as I possibly can. And then you see the ads with the pretty ladies that are up in age, right? And they're still beautiful, and I want to be one of those. Like, I want to age as well as I can. I don't have to be this or that. I want to be the best version of myself, you guys. And that means from my fitness to, which I sadly need to get back into it. But, from just my intelligence, my livelihood, like everything. I just want to be the best version of myself. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I'm not trying to be this or that. I'm just trying to be the best me that I can be. Okay. And seeing how even the popular girls in high school, right? The real popular girls that were the prettiest. Oh Lord. So I don't know. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to do the best I can. But the weight loss has been great. The keto's been great. I feel great. It's been great for my brain. Oh man. The clarity, which is great for this work, because if you ask me, you need to be smart and you need to be quick with your decisions and you need to be a great problem solver. Like, you need to be smart. And unfortunately, the gateway in the bar if it was Shannon's world, the bar would be raised way up here and we would be paid accordingly. She's down here. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. Oh, I can't show you. My cord's plugged in. She's going buck wild with her ball right now. I did take her outside. We went for a walk around. I am doing my step challenge. I know I mentioned it before. I didn't really push it this time or nothing, but I'm all motivated because I got a new Samsung watch. So I made a new step challenge, a trucker challenge in Samsung. Kelly, I tried to send you an invitation. Did you get it? Kelly's my friend on Samsung Health. So that's going on. If anybody's interested and have trouble getting connected and you want to get into it, it's a pre-spring. Let's get motivated. Because, as soon as the weather breaks, I'm going to keep it going because I myself have to challenge myself. So you might as well join me and we'll do it together. she is destroying the egg cooker box. And it's still got the lid on it, believe it or not. She took out the middle piece, right? Which is fine if it keeps her busy. Now she's chewing on my work boots. She's just looking for trouble to get into. Where's your bone? The deer antler? If you guys have dogs and if you haven't given your dogs deer antlers, oh, I swear, it's the best pacifier. They will just work on it, and it lasts for like, however long it takes them. Which I never knew, a deer antler, right? I always like bones, this, and that's all I ever knew about. Well, apparently deer antlers are a thing, and they're cost a few dollars, and bull penises, okay? Like, really, they call them they call them steer sticks in this package, right? But they're called something else. I forget. I got the idea from the dog whisperer because that's how he gets. Watch, look, she's nuts. They love these things. These are very expensive, but I found this on clearance for $7, and there's a couple of small ones in here. But they sell the big long ones, and they're very expensive. But the dogs, as soon as they smell them, like, oh my gosh, it's like I got a steak sitting here in front of her. So, look at this. Can you see this attention? Look at, oh man, what is that? What, do you want that? Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit. I did teach her this. Sit down. Good girl. Yeah. Okay. That'll settle her down for a minute. It takes a while for him to chew through this, but yeah. Full penises. Who would have thought? Trucker Jason says he's going to bounce. His connection stinks. Signal's good so far. Thanks, Dar. I appreciate it. Let me catch up. I missed some people. Okay. Dar says, plus she feels amazing, and that's what counts the most. Yeah, I feel good. And believe me, when I cheat and have, like, some Ben and Jerry's, because that's my favorite stuff. I don't know what they put in that ice cream, but it's like addictive. So I'll have some Ben and Jerry's once in a while because ice cream is like my kryptonite. And I mean, once you start eating clean, and I think we've all said this, like once you start eating clean and then you eat something sugary, you feel it, like in the bad way. Like then you realize how your body does not like that food. S125 is in the house. Good morning. They just added my next load. Cool. Snowlord says, Dart isn't going anywhere. Remember that they have a lot of contract freight and spot freight and brokerage and leasing program. And they have real estate. I've learned they're in the real estate game as well. They have real estate that another trucking company like down in Texas next door is KLLM. Dart owns all that land, and this is what I'm told. This is what a birdie told me. KLLM rents that from Dart. So Dart has real estate. And they've been in business longer than like JB Hunt. Like JB Hunt's been in business for 60 years. Dart's been in business for 90 years. A lot of people don't know that. They've been building owner-operators for 90 years, or helping people become owner-operators for 90 years. So I'm sure they've seen this a million times. But, it's a thought. Stepped into Trucking says, hey, good morning, Shannon. Hope you're doing well. I'm in Colby, Kansas, heading to Cheyenne, Wyoming, finishing up a 30. I'll be driving and listening. Okay. Thanks, Chris. Wyoming. I got offered a $6,000 load going to Washington. I was like, you know what? If the weather was not a concern, I don't have chains. I've never chained. I'm not interested in going through anything that I have to chain. And all that mystery is in that thing. I said I would take it, but not right now. I don't think the weather is. I want to wait till everything's cleared out. When we are full on in spring and the path can be clear, then I will go crazy and go up there. Because if you look at my little map, the Dakotas and Washington is like the empty area. I don't have any little pinpoints there that I've been there. So I do want to accomplish that eventually here. But and last time I went to Wyoming, naivety. It was I have no desire to go to Wyoming. Let's see. Gold Phoenix is in the house. Good morning, Gold Phoenix. He says, what a time to be alive. Lord Phoenix has arrived. You always got a smooth entry, Gold Phoenix. I read that one. Dodie says, who has more energy, Shannon or her little dog? You know what? I don't know. We're pretty equal. She proved that to me when I took her home and she played with all the dogs all day. Like, she went nonstop, and they were outnumbering her and tried to maul her a little bit, and she stood them off, and I just think we're a lot alike. And so it's a great relationship. I picked the right dog. I picked the right breed. I got the right dog. Like, she's wonderful. She gets bored, obviously. That's why we got all the toys and stuff. Did you eat that thing already? Well, get up there. If you're going to get up there, go. You can do it. She still second guesses herself about jumping on the bed. And then I encourage her. I'm like, you can do it. And then she gets all pumped, and then she gets up there. CB says, health fact, tacos are the new vitamins. Oh, don't I wish. I think I could live off tacos, ice cream, chips and salsa, and pizza. All these things are bad for you, by the way. What's the other thing I gotta have that I don't have? Greens. Some home cooked greens with the smoked turkey leg in it. I could live off of that. CB says I live for trucking and tacos. Oh, and I gotta throw a Cuban sandwich in there because, man, I'm hooked on them. It's a good thing I can't get them anywhere. I might not be so faithful to my keto diet. Sterling says, good morning from Cuban Coffee Queen in Key West, Florida. If you guys don't know, Sterling, Mr. Red Lady, has received Mrs. Sterling. They are both at the Keys of Florida right now together. So I'm super happy for them right now. Snorlord says, I have been without coffee, alcohol, and doing intermittent fasting for Lent. So far, so good. That's great. And Snorlord, I want to publicly apologize. I was like, when you announced you were going to give up coffee for X amount of days, I was like, you're going to be an a-hole. I want to publicly apologize for saying that. I really was like, I would be probably, right? So you are not an a-hole, and I should not have said that. It was just off the cuff. I thought about that later. I'm like, that was probably rude. And I should never assume that anything's going to make you be an a-hole. You are very in charge of yourself and your emotions. And so I want to say I'm sorry for even just like flipping off and saying that. Because, you think when somebody quits something that they love, you're like, oh, they're going to be a jerk for a week or whatever. So I apologize. I like straight up, like I shouldn't have said that. But good job. And I'm rooting for you. When does that fast end? I'm curious. Kent Robbins is in the house. My neighbor who has now moved away, and he's no longer my neighbor. He says, when are you coming home? That, we're in a soft market right now, Kent. So coming home right now is my last concern. I went home real quick. We had Faith's birthday party, and the puppy met everybody and all that, and then I was back out. This is no time for my business to even think about going home right now. It's just not an option. But when I do, I want to see your new place. Dodie says, in Shannon's world, she wears her glasses. In Dodie's world, I need my glasses to find my glasses. No, girl, I do too. I'm like Velma on Scooby-Doo. If I don't have my glasses, I'm like, it's rough. Like, and I never thought my eyes would go bad, but because it's not really a thing in our family, and I've always been very careful about my eyes and ears, but I go into the eye doctor. He examines me, right, and I'm like, okay, this is my mind, you guys. My eye doctor is so cool. I'm like, okay, let's talk about what I can eat, or what do I need to do to restore whatever's going on, because this ain't cool. And he giggles, and he's like, there's nothing you can do. Now, do I believe that in my soul? No, because I do undercover research on how to heal my body, because doctors, are doctors. I don't really trust them. But he takes great care of me. So I throw the conversation out because I like to be a comedian. And he's like, he said, at this time I was 48. And he's like, no, you're over 40. Like, this is normal. It's going to happen. He said, it's probably going to get progressively, more. My brain can't accept that. I'm like, no, we can heal it. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to redirect the whatever. I want to fix it. There's got to be a way. The body regenerates things, right? So I'm still searching for that, but in the meantime, it's not here. Sorry, guys. My CB just turned. This message is for test. See, it's just like a ghostly thing. Any of those messages that come across, it just turns on my CB on its own. It's totally off, and it just turns on. Sterling says, Snorlord, the intermittent fasting caveman diet trucker guidance counselor. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty accurate. That's a good one, Sterling. Scorpion Trucker's in the house. He says, hey, Shannon. Nomadic Brit is in the house also. Good morning, young lady in chat. My last video seems to have been very popular and people are discussing all about it. Yeah. Yeah, it was, because that's like everybody's biggest fear, right? So you were actually able to get to it and get it conquered with class, and you had the finances to take care of it. You had the right person to work on your truck. Absolutely. That's how if it were to happen to me, God forbid, but if it were to happen to me, or when it happens to me someday, I hope I can handle it with as much poise as you have. So that was great. And thank you for putting that out, because it was very educational for everybody. Nevada says, Montana, you need to make that happen. Yeah, it's on my goals this year, but I'm going to consult you all first to make sure that I'm geared. I know about the weather to expect. Like I should, I'm just not going to go like, woo, let's go there. I'm going to do some more research first. Nevada says, Wyoming is beautiful when you get away from 80. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine, and it was a beautiful drive. I had a beautiful drive all the way out to Nevada, but it was coming back when it all was like sketchy and weather and all that. The drive out there, I was in awe. It was so beautiful and so amazing, and the weather was so sunny and perfect. But coming back, it was like somebody flicked a switch on me, and then I'm like, I need chains? What? So I got out of there unscathed, pulled over when I needed to. There was crazy people out there still driving on this ice where they only put sand down. that blew my mind. I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. So next time I venture out west, far out west, I want to make sure that I'm prepared, because I know people were scared for me. So, and I appreciate all your guys' support on that trip. Like that carried me through. But now I'm like, never again. Not unless I know like it's under control. This message. See what I'm saying? What is that? Gold Phoenix says it's snowing in Tennessee right now. Okay, well, I'm going to be down there probably tomorrow morning. So I hope it's all under control by then, by the time I get there. Plus, I got like 44,000 pounds of what I think is probably whiskey or something for that, because I'm going down to Old Smoky, the whiskey place. Or maybe I'm bringing something that they use to make the whiskey, but it's very heavy. So that should be okay. Hope so. Gold Phoenix says, agreed, Montana is my all-time favorite. Yep, I've never been there, but I got to fill up the map, right? Before I settle down and whatever my next level is here in trucking, you know, I gotta fill up that empty space on my map, because I've filled up everything else except for that upper quarter of the country. Snorlord says Montana is a great place to truck in June. Okay, thank you, Snorlord. You know I'll be consulting you first. Like, everybody's saying hi. Scorpion Trucker says pizza with cauliflower crust. Love it. Yeah, I've had that one time and it was good. I was like, oh, I'll give you 7 of these. Trucking with T-Bone is in the house saying good morning, chat, and my fellow Michigander. Good morning, T-Bone. So I think you're probably sitting in the same weather that I am over here. It's cold. There's a little snow. It's not too bad. Trucks look like they're moving pretty good, but with maybe a little caution. It's hard to judge. But I'm empty. I got 50 miles to go empty, and it appears as though the winds have calmed down compared to what they were last night when I parked. So I'm feeling pretty good. I don't have to roll out of here till noon. So yeah, I really wish I could have that on video of me climbing in the dumpster, because that I was laughing at myself. I will laugh at myself. I don't care. Like, you know, I'm not one who like dies of embarrassment. I just laugh, because if I would laugh at someone else, I'm gonna treat myself the same way. Like, I'm gonna laugh, and I don't like to laugh at people, but when it comes to me, I will laugh at myself, because just stuff is funny. I fell one time going into junior high. Now, you know, when you're a teenager, everything is like super embarrassing. Like, teenagers are so sensitive and whatever. I was in a mini skirt and my little slippy flats, like, right? And this message is for test. Stop. And so I'm walking into school and I slipped and flipped back. All my stuff went everywhere and I fell right on my back. I laid there and freaking giggled for a minute. Like, I was cracking up laughing. I was embarrassed, but it still was funnier than that. It was funnier than being embarrassed. So, I caught up on Dodie's videos this morning while I was like waking up. Dodie, I just want to tell you, if you're still in here, I'm proud of you. And it is so cool that you got your own land. Like, that is a goal of mine. And it was great to see you smile and be able to sit there and just soak it all in. I really enjoyed seeing you be able to do that. Nomadic Brit says, I would advise people to see the discussion on my community page for engine bill between Kenworth Peterbilt and 5238 and Mark Robert 3881. Okay. So there must be a juicy discussion over there. Check out Nomadic Brit's channel. Check out that discussion about the engine rebuild. Yeah. So what else is going on? I'm booked up. Talked about the market with my broker. Midwest is where it's at. And it's probably going to be like that. And it's not great, but it's going to be the best thing that we got to pick from, I think, at least probably for the next couple of weeks. That's what I learned this morning. I am trying to, I don't know if I'll make any money this week because I have to recover from last week and then this week, right? So I'm just running. I'm just booking and going. And he also agreed, and I know you guys know this and will agree that, and I know Snorlord agrees, right now during the soft market, booking ahead is what you need to do. And so I'm booked ahead for this week. I've been practicing that for months now, actually, which is a blessing. And yes, I had some cancellations last week, and that's what can happen. It threw me under the bus, and then I was forced into a position where I had to find something on the fly. And then I'm looking at the market like, oh my goodness. So it was very tough. So it can happen, but book them ahead, guys, if you can. That's what's been carrying me through all these weeks. And I haven't had load cancellations up until last week. Very unfortunate for me. So now I gotta try to dump all the money in the bucket to get me back up to here so that I can start working towards my next payroll. Which I'm not, I just gotta pay the cell phone bill and some other little small things, right? It's not major, but super tight right now. Everything counts. Every dollar counts. Every penny counts. Every load counts. And you really got to make sure you're staying profitable. Let's see. I read that one. Sorry. I should have put that up on the screen, Nomadic Grid. That was that comment I just read, guys. Nevada says, Nomadic Grid, you dog, you so shameless. Joking. Gold Phoenix says the upper Midwest has been consistent for me, going back to Wisconsin for the millionth time. Yeah, and it always has been for me. That's my running area, Gold Phoenix. That's so I'm back up here. I haven't been up here in a while because I've been out running the weather, but I'm up here, and my plan is to now stay up here for the rest of the year, for the most part. I'll probably do a couple runs down to Texas, maybe a couple runs back down to Florida. But I've moved from working the south, and now I'm transitioning back up north. I'm going to try to stay there too. There was one load to Wisconsin that I could have took to get me up there, but they put 5 days on it. I can't take a load and then sit 5 days on it. And that's what I've been noticing in the market. They're adding days for whatever reason. I don't know. It's great because you could drive real slow, but it doesn't make sense to me. Nomadic Brett says, Kyle, it's just those two blokes are having a good discussion referring to tax write-off, etc., and that Mark Roberts seems a good kitty. Okay, so Nomadic Brett says, T-Bone the hippies in the chat. I don't think T-Bone's a hippie. Unless T-Bone says he's a hippie. I don't know. I had asked the question the other day. Do hippies wear tie-dye? I guess back in the 70s they did. I think that's where we got it from, right? It just seems like I know so many categories of hippies in my mind. That's what they are. Gold Phoenix says, yep, my load was ready a day ahead of schedule, so I have till Thursday to go 970 miles or so because of that. Yeah. So I'm not liking it. I'm hunting hard the shorties that I can connect. That's tough. And shorties that don't have extra days in them. That's tough to find right now. because I have a week to make up for, I have to like compound stuff as much as I can. So my planning for this week is pretty good. This is the longest little window I have to sit, but I needed to take it because I just dropped off in South Bend yesterday. So I'm picking up in today, Brookfield, Illinois, and I'm taking that to Newport, Tennessee. That's today's agenda. Heavy, heavy load. So even if it is like this weather, I'm okay. My nerves are cool. You know, as long as I got weight, I feel great. It's when I get empty and it's windy. So I had 100 miles to drive, deadhead, to get this load, and that's empty. And so last night, my watch said it was about 17-mile-an-hour winds, but I'm telling you, it felt a lot more than that. And it was getting icy, right? It was just starting to get, the snow was falling in the road, salt trucks were out, it rained, it snowed, it rained, it snowed, and I was like, I was feeling a little edgy about it. So I decided, I can't park much closer in as I am right now. So I stopped here because that Gary TA area there is just like 10 miles up the road or something like that. So I stopped here for the quietness too and the space, and just called it a day yesterday and just let them salt trucks do their thing. And so there's trucks going and I'm watching them, and nobody's barreling down the highway. They just look like they're driving with caution. So that's okay. I'll make it 50 miles. Get my load. Steve ND86 is in the house. He says, good morning, Shannon. He says, hey, Nevada, like the big techs. They are kind of spendy, though. That's a flatbed trailer, right? I see hotshot guys with that thing. I missed some comments. CB says he's wearing tie-dye today. Trucker Jason says, I'm pissed right now because I got home yesterday and had something out of my apartment stolen. Oh, that's creepy. Jeez. Put some cameras in there. Jody wants to know if they're bell bottoms, CB. Do you got bell bottoms tie-dye pants on? That would be interesting to see. Nevada wants to know what they took, Jason. Steve ND86 says, I said that. Nevada says, yeah, insurance paid for it, thankfully. Okay, whatever that story is, I don't know about it. Apparently, I have to catch up on Nevada's channel. I miss Danny, Nevada. Is she all right? Last time I saw her pop on, we talked about her dad passing away. And I gave her my condolences at that point, but I really haven't seen her online or nothing or hanging around. So hope everything's all right with you guys. CB says, Edgewood, nope, tie-dyed, Hawaiian shirt, shorts, and work boots kind of day. Yeah, and he's down there in Florida in the heat and the sunshine. Trucker Jason says, one of my gaming consoles that I generally play on to relax when I'm on home time, $900 down the drain. And I'm from Flint, Michigan. When stuff like that happens, unless it's somebody we know, it's usually the case of a crackhead has gotten into your home and taken something that they can pawn very quickly. That's how it is in my town. I don't know, or somebody is coming and taking your PlayStation because they want one. Edgewood says, cool, CB, I'm wearing my go-go boots later. Jody's the only lady I know that can dress all cute, a flatbedder, mind you, okay? And she can wear a sundress while she's working. Like, I love it. Trucker Jason says, Shannon, having cameras in my apartment was recommended when I posted a message on a Facebook yesterday. Yeah, it's crazy that we have to live in a world where we feel like we have to put cameras on everything. Like, it's just creepy and unfortunate. Like, geez. Nomadic Brit says T-Bone has hippie hair, and he knows I'm just pulling his leg. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good for jokes in here, you guys. I'm kind of jealous because you guys turn loose like in the guys' channels, in the chats. You guys post some funny stuff, and I'm like, why are they so well behaved in my chat? And they don't they don't put those crazy jokes out there. I love jokes. I love how it cracks me up. You guys are welcome to be yourselves in here. Please do. Because I see put some trucker jokes up there in some other chats. I get a kick out of it. Nevada says no, her dad didn't pass away. I'm sorry. Yes, he had a heart attack, and he's fine. We just started our second week getting back to the rhythm. Okay. Sorry, I screwed that up. I knew something bad happened to her dad. I was thinking he passed away, but thank God he didn't. Thank God. But now that you say that, like, okay, I remember now. Yeah. Because she said she was over there taking care of him for a little bit and helping out. I remember now. Sorry. I had to recycle that one. Charcoal T-Bone says Britt is jealous. Everybody's jealous of the hair, T-Bone. Steve says that's good news. Steve says, hey, Britt, how's the truck running? So I think, no matter, Britt, do you want to come on and talk about it? Or are you busy? You're welcome to come in and give an update to everybody since everybody's in here live. Because I need to make another cup of coffee too. And I heard your car has a refrigerator in it. Britt got a new car too, guys. In case anybody didn't know. He had a great time off. He went and bought his dream car. He put his truck in the shop. Like, so perfect. It pays to be a chemical tanker guy, right? I'm like, man, I wish I had the cojones to do it. Because he doesn't have to worry about any of this stuff. He don't have to worry about a soft market. Dodie says, thank you, sweetheart. If I could only wear a smile like you. Oh, you do. Stop it. You got a lot of great things going on now. I wanted to put that down. Like, it's great to see you, like, sharing your joy and the happy things that are happening to you. So I love it. And you do have a beautiful smile. Trucker Jason says, sad part is, 1, I don't allow anyone in my apartment. 2, my landlord has access to my apartment. And 3, pest control has access to my apartment. So the latter 2 may have taken it, but without proof, right? So that's cause for a safe, right? And it's unfortunate that you just can't leave your stuff around your own dwelling. And it's the hard lesson learned, right? You're gonna have to lock up everything, lock and key, anything valuable when you're not there. That sucks, Jason. I'm sorry that's happened. Yeah. And then without cameras, you don't have any proof, right? That's terrible. Yeah. So, Britt, are you busy? He's probably busy. Oh yeah. So what else is going on? Not planning on going home for a while. Got recovery to do. I got some decisions to make on my accounting services. I think you got to cut those back. I need to stop paying someone for my accounting. I did need it for the first year, guys. So I'm not sad that I incurred that expense for my first year of getting out here on the market, because I needed to focus and get, figure all the stuff out. So I needed somebody to handle my books. That kind of was the first year was fine, but then my great accountant got sick and she had to close her firm. She passed me on to someone else. So I went to that someone else. We started off strong. Now here at the end of the year, There's a lot of things making me nervous. I looked at my P&Ls. I see some things that are incorrect. So we have to have a meeting. I've had some trouble getting hold of them. I know it's busy time. I could be freaking out. Regardless of that, it's not just because of that, but that doesn't help the situation. But I need to make some more cutbacks because I need to make some more cutbacks. At this point, I am not saving the money that I should for maintenance breakdowns or whatever else, right? So I spent $5,000 in accounting costs last year, $5,700 actually, because I had to pay $700 for my taxes to get done. So I could use that money back to the truck, back to the business, So I'm looking into the trucking office, Trucking Pro, whatever those are called, right? I need to get that all incorporated. But first, I have to close out last year. Once my taxes are done and my books are closed out for last year, I'll have a clearer mind to say, okay, let's do something different this year. So that's what's going on with the biz. My real estate company is finally cash flowing, and my daughter's taken over that department. We're trying to get that thing alive. It's slow, but that's a good thing that's happening. What else is going on? I don't know. That's pretty much all I had that's interesting today. I had to tell you my dumpster story though, and I just want to have some coffee. Stuart says, had a damn coolant line let go this morning, all fixed and back on the road. Stuart, is this a truck that you just bought? Because I know you bought a truck, so I don't know. I probably missed a video on your channel, so forgive me, but I'll have to go back and check it out. Last I knew that I saw you talk about was you got a truck and you were getting it ready and you were going to get back out on the market. So is that where you're at today? You're back out on the market and got the thing going. And what kind of truck did you get? Dodie says, good for you, Stuart. Been there, done that. Yeah, it's going to happen, And my truck hasn't seen really the winter this year. So I've been ducking out. A lot of the reason, too, was because I got Dee Dee. Because I needed to get her adjusted and things like that. And, that's a whole lot easier when weather's not a factor. Come here, girl. Come here. I'm going to give you a view of Dee Dee. Here, come here. Come here. She's getting so big. I changed her to Purina Puppy Chop. I had her on the super healthy, like blue buffalo or diamond buffalo or something like that. Turned out it was too acidic for her system. And how I figured that out was I gave her some apple cider vinegar, and it calmed her digestive tract, so her poo-poos were better. So I knew that it was something in her gut. So I changed her to the Purina Puppy Chow Plus for puppies, I guess is what it is, and it's a lot better for her. And she's been growing like crazy, so I'm sure we picked the right one. So she's doing a lot better. So I don't. Let me see if I can show you how big she's actually gotten. Let me see. Look at. Let's see if we can stand back. Do you see this? She's like. She weighs a little bit now. A month ago, we weighed her in at the vet, and she was 13 pounds. A month before that's when I got her, and she was 5 pounds. She was the runt of the litter. So you can see she's growing very fast, and she's getting, her legs are getting very long. And, look at this. Oh, can you see? She's got arms. But she's just so beautiful. She's just been a great companion in the truck, and she's so rambunctious. Definitely a kangaroo monkey. This is not a puppy. She is a kangaroo monkey. But yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's not like guarding my life right now. She's still trying to get off the leash. She does not like the leash. She's a free spirit, and I can understand that. So when we are in a safe environment, I will let her off the leash, and she stays with me. She gets so far from me, but she won't let me get farther than that away from her. So I think that's typical of the breed. So that's been kind of cool. Reefer 77 just came in. Good morning, Reefer 77. Can I get that up there? Jody says good morning. Nomadic Brit says he can't come in at the moment. He's having his Zoom meeting with his mom. Aw. Tell her we said hi. Way over here in the U.S. We send her our love. Jerome Jones says, damn it, I'm late. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just having coffee trying to figure out what other updates. I think of a whole bunch of stuff to tell you guys when I'm not doing a video or whatever. I'm like, okay, I got to remember that. Okay, I got to remember that. I need to start writing it down. Interesting topics. Steve says, and then I forget when I'm on here with you. Trucker Jason says, Shannon, are you going to teach your fur kid how to drive? She drives, actually. She drives. I'm training her right now. Steve says, I forget, Shannon, how much is your lease payment at Dart? Okay, so I'll give if you guys are interested in my lease breakdown again. I'm happy with it. I did my research. I read my contract. I did all the right stuff because I have the right people to listen to, okay? As far as lease purchases go, okay, y'all have your opinions and all that, but I needed to do things a certain way, and I had to find the right one to work for my situation. That being said, judge me not. But what I've done works for what I needed to do, how I needed to do it. I had a checklist that I had come up with first, and I said, if I'm going to leave my sweet cushy job at JB Hunt with all the benefits, I need to find this. If I find this, I will jump. Okay? And I will start my business. Dart met all of my checklists. My Dart payment for my truck is $69 a day. That is my truck only payment. Okay? I have a 2019 freaking awesome, beautiful Freightliner. And they don't pay for I get to use their trailer for free. They cover the trailer, head to toe maintenance, all. I don't even have to worry about the trailer. It's not my trailer. But I get that. I get the use of that trailer. So with my insurances and toll things and all my ELD and all of that together, it comes to $825 a week. Okay? My truck payment alone per month is $2,100. It comes out to that at the end of the month. Okay? The lease term of my contract is 29 months on lease. If I want to purchase the truck at the end, it is $25,000. That's it. It's very clear cut. No hoojie bougie, no shifty shady, nothing like that. It is a very clear cut deal in my eyes. Okay. I get the trailer. They get 30% of all my revenue. I get 70%. Once my truck is paid off, if I stay here, if I did stay here, then I would get 72%. I get another 2%. Same deal. I can use the trailer, no cost to me, whatever. Am I leaving anything out? I get a humongous discount on tires, Goodyears and Michelins. I get them for $400 a piece. I get fuel, usually 40 cents to 80 cents and sometimes $1 off fuel. So there, I get that fuel discount too. I get a full support of the office staff if I need them. I get to run the spot market. I get to run my business, pick my loads, deal with whoever I want, except I have an approved list of brokers. There's a lot of them on there, so it's not like I'm super limited. I cannot run hazmat, which behooves me because I was one of the best hazmat drivers when I was running their contract freight. I cannot go across the country. I mean across the border. We are only dry van. There is no option to run reefer or tanker or flatbed here. It is a dry van only. So that kind of sucks. The only other issues I've run into is that there are some shippers that don't, because of past bad experiences with bad DART drivers, won't let DART book the load. That's really all that I've come up with, but those are my challenges. So far, I plan to purchase. I am now out of warranty, which makes me freak out, especially with having such a hard time building up a nest egg in the bank. DART will give me another truck. DART will let me buy a brand new truck. DART will gladly sign me onto another contract, which will start a whole nother lease term, right? They'll gladly give me a higher truck payment. I picked this truck. With a shorter lease period, because if you get a newer truck, now it's a 3-year, 5-year lease, yada, yada, right? They got to finance all that out. I picked this truck because it's the newest truck, nicest truck, lowest miles that I could get for the shortest lease term. Because I knew coming in here that I did not plan, my long-term plan could be, but maybe wouldn't be. I like options to stay here or not. Or if we come to the end of it and the market's changed and I need to change my business, like I have to have the freedom to pivot and adjust. So I wanted something that I wasn't in a long marriage for. So that when I do pay off the truck, I can move if I needed to. Or if I liked it here so much and all these are still options, but these are all the things I thought about at the beginning even. If this was such a good situation where I could continue to build my fleet here, they can provide that as well. They will, once I pay this truck off, this is what DART does for you too. If you pay the first truck off, they will let you get multiple trucks and they will put drivers in them for you or allow you to get drivers. That's kind of a benefit in the whole situation. So that's always an option. I can go ahead and get some trucks, get some drivers, and I could grow this thing faster than what I'm ready for. And then I got all them trailers too, right? Just boom. That's available. But they want you to pay off one truck to get to that thing. So I knew all this information before I came here. So I knew there's possibilities, right? And then if everything went to shit, I could go back. I could change over to a company driver. I could change over to their contract freight. Whatever. All those things are available here. And I'm not trying to recruit. I'm just telling you guys this is what I came into because all of that flexibility is here. Yeah, so I do, so far, unless something changes, the plan is to try to pay this out so that we got the title. Because then we have to take it back to the board, my business board, sit at the table and say, okay, now we got to look at things and say, okay, what is my best move? after that. But I'm taking it in baby steps. Right now, I got to survive this lease, which is a very reasonable lease compared to everything else that's out there and the terms that they put you under. This is a great lease program. I'm not a big fan of them either. I get it. I know what all you guys are going to say, but if you got to pick one, I got a nice deal. I'm very happy with it. The price of this truck is, at the end of the day, going to be $70,000. Right now, I have 554,000 miles on it. I got it when I had 40. It had 44, 47. Wait, 40. I think it had 44,017 miles on it when I got it. I've got 54. Excuse me. 554,000. Right? So it's been a great truck. It's a very beautiful, nice, clean, everything's great. So at this point, I owe about $50,000 on it left. That's including the $25,000 balloon payment. Okay. So that's how it goes. So that's where I'm at today. You know? So right now in Nevada, yeah, that's my plan. Now, if something changes that makes more sense or is a better situation for me where I can make some money and stuff, everything's up for discussion, you know. I just want to do the best thing for me in the business, you know. So I try to answer all the questions that could come out of that question, Steve. So there you go. So, but it's $69 a day. It runs every day. It never stops, every single day for your 29 months. That's what the payment is for the truck by itself, $69. That's my truck. Now, they had older trucks you could get for cheaper that I could have had paid off in 1 year, right? They had like a 2017 Volvo. I could have got that for a 1 year lease. I'd already been out of it. I picked this truck because it's the truck I know, and it was still under warranty when I got it, and had the least amount of miles than any of the other trucks there, and it was the shortest lease, other than like that Volvo you could have got for 1 year. But so they do have options. There might be some older trucks over there you can get paid off quicker. The payment might be less. I don't know. But you pick your truck when you go there for orientation. I looked at all the trucks through the whole company that was available. I made them print me more lists, right? Because it updates every day. So I made her print me like 4 lists from 4 terminals where they had trucks sitting. And I looked at the data on every single one of those trucks. Now, all the other people in my orientation class took off. Like, they wanted to just get a truck and go, because they try to get you to get the ones that are on the lot right there at orientation. I was like, I want to look at all of them. Because whatever one you pick, let's say, because I picked one that was sitting in Minnesota. So because that, they pay to fly me up there. So wherever your truck is at that you pick, they fly you to it. And that's how you pick it up. Reaper 77 says hi to Edgewood and Jerome. Steve says these rates must be hurting the bottom line. Definitely. But I'm not doing too bad. 3 loads canceling on me really hurt me. Everything was kind of going copacetic. And so now I just continue what I'm doing. Like I'm running a good business. I have a great relationship with some brokers that are keeping me running. I'm keeping this truck moving. You know, so when I hit a hiccup, like I gotta stop at home for a day, or I gotta do this, or I get stuck in Florida or something like that for a minute, those things hurt. Because I literally have to stay going like a machine. That's what keeps me in the best profitable situation while I'm paying for this lease. So I run because that's what's necessary. I've had an accountant to pay. I've had, I pay for QuickBooks for the business. Like, my business has expenses too. I have my cell phone to pay, right? I've kept anything else extra gone. It's all about building my business. So yeah, I've had those expenses as well. My truck payment, everything with DART is always paid up. My accountant's paid on time. When I can pay myself, I pay myself a payroll. And I'm always putting money away for maintenance. That's already included. I got it set for 14 cents a mile in the maintenance fund. And then I have a separate account that 2 cents a mile goes into. I use that for, like, if I get too far behind or something happens coming out of the home, if I try to go home for a weekend, then I'll use that money to catch up the truck so I'm not coming out in the hole. This time that money's still sitting there. I could use that right now to catch myself up, but I'm trying not to. I want to save it. Because at the same time, I'm about halfway through my lease and that balloon payment is coming up. So I've got to make some kind of effort to start saving money towards that. So I don't really want to touch those savings accounts. So I'm just trying to battle it out here. Steve, I know you're not judging me. Steve says everyone has to find their way. Yeah, absolutely. And this is what worked for me at the time. And I'm happy because, I'm coming out of here from a corporate career, office stuff. I'm an administrative person. And trucking is a brand new industry to me. And there was a lot that I needed to learn. Not only spending my first 2 years driving company, right? But then getting out here and changing the game and then learning this game. It's a lot. So I needed an accountant to take care of the books. It's not that I can't do my books myself. I've always done books for other businesses. So it's not a problem. I just didn't want to deal with it because I wanted to focus on getting razor sharp at the game. How to make the business run and be profitable and successfully handle a lease purchase. Because, it's tough for a lot of people. Gold Phoenix says, what's your total weekly fixed cost? $825. I'm at roughly $1,400 a week, but no intention to keep my truck at the moment. So you probably drive a brand new truck, Gold Phoenix, right? I'm assuming by that payment. Steve says, that sounds like a good deal for a lease if it wasn't such a tough market. Yeah. It's a good price for the truck. I think. According to what I know. I don't know everything. But the truck itself, it's a 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. And from what I understand, they're running for a little bit more on the market with the same amount of mileage right now for sale. I'm sure that'll drop if truck prices are dropping, but I'm still sitting right there like it's a normal cost for this truck in a normal market. Somebody tell me if you disagree. I'm always open to learn. Dodie says, have a great day, everybody. I have to get all this paperwork done. Love. Okay. Have a great day, Dodie. Be safe. Nevada says, building a fleet within a fleet can be challenged if you ever want to leave and start your own situation. Insurance lead. Yeah. Like right now, I got a sweet deal on insurance because it's under the carrier. So breaking away and going completely on my own to me doesn't make sense right now, because even if I got my title tomorrow, because looking at the costs and the savings and what I pay for all of these services that are here for my business, it pretty much in fuel alone, like I'm going to spend more in fuel as a single owner operator with my own authority. That savings alone, like just to break down the conversation, like that bullet point. Then there's the tires and all the maintenance savings, right? Like all that. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm going to eat my own 30 and I'm going to do this and that. Like, to me, this market don't make sense to do that. I think teamwork makes the dream work. And right now, especially as a starting company, trucking company, you need all the support you can find, you know, and education and practice, right? I've learned, look how much I've learned out here. And I'm still learning, but putting to practice, making mistakes while I got something, a safety net to back me up right now. That's what I'm out. Like, I came out here to learn this. I came out here to get into a new industry, do something totally different with my career. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm doing. God, if I have to sit in a gray cubicle in a big tall glass building one more time, I think I'll stick 2 pens right here in my eyes. Holy crap. Snowlord says, you're in a good spot. Weathering the storm. And I am, like, you know, I don't think any of us can judge anybody what we're doing right now. Like, all of us are trying to get through the struggles that we're facing right now. It's all different for each person, but, you know, this isn't a season where we can be like, oh, I'm doing better than you, and you got to do this. And it's so volatile and it's so crazy right now. Like, everybody's just got to find their way and do that. Like, I could throw everything back tomorrow and just go back to my cushy job at JB Hunt. And JB Hunt's so big and so solid in the rails. And I just go back to the, you know, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I love port work. I go back that tomorrow. They'd receive me with open arms. Send me a plane ticket. I left there on very good terms. They hated to lose me. So that's always there. So nothing can scare me about loss and this and that. Like, I'm not in debt for this truck. I'm out here to press myself to the wall and learn it right and practice it and do it right and learn all that there is to know about it to be successful. And I am accomplishing that. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to put my big fat paycheck on the glass or put my P&Ls up there being like, oh, this is the struggle. Like, this is the education. Like, I'm getting that. You know, so I don't go after it like everybody else. I value the things I'm learning. It's going to make me, at the end of the day, if I were to close my business and shut it down for myself, it makes me, what I'm doing and what I'm learning and how I'm building up makes me valuable to a company that may need somebody with all of this experience. Like, look at what I can bring to the table. So it's so good all the way around. The struggle with the profitability is like the only thing. But this is also something that I should be learning, even to eventually be a single owner operator or fleet or whatever it may turn into. I need to know how to grovel in a soft market and fight my way through it. So I appreciate this. I hate it, but you know, it sucks because I'm broke. But this education is necessary, you know, in the long run, because I don't want to be out there and do so well all the time, and then something like this happens economically, and I've never experienced anything like that. So it's a shock to my system. I don't want to be there. I don't think that's best for the business. I'm learning how to manage these times now, which is fantastic to me, you know? I will find the positive side of everything, guys. it's that's what it is. Jerome says, just a heads up, if anyone is interested, there's an app called On My Way, and it pays you 5 cents per mile for being safe. So what does it do? Just like track your phone, Jerome? How's that work? Look at mischief. Girl, don't you bite on it. Where's your bone? Where is it? Come here. Little Miss Mischievous. She's so funny. Here. Here. God, they go crazy. Crazy over bull penises. Thank you for that, Jerome. If you're all looking for an easy passive income, Jerome just dropped a jewel. Wheelburner Express is in the house. Good morning. He says, trucking is an old industry to me, and there is still so much I have to learn. Yeah, and that's what I find so exciting about it. Because when you're working in the corporate humdrum, if you want to learn anything to level up, you got to go back to college. Or you got to work in an internship for free, which you can't do unless you have the college degree. And it's politics. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I like to be rewarded for my good performance. And working in the offices, it's all about numbers, head count, paper, degrees. I mean, yes, performance is a factor, obviously, too, but like at GM and at Chrysler, the first thing that they're looking for in your resume is your degrees. They don't care if you got 20 years experience doing the damn job. It doesn't even matter because HR sets up parameters that they have, these are the prerequisites. If you ain't got it, HR ain't even gonna let you in the door. So it just didn't, I love the adventure. I love that there's so many different facets to learn about this. It's very inspiring, and not to mention, it's something you can fall in love with. The road is something you can fall in love with. I really wish I'd have done it a lot sooner. I really do. That's one of my regrets. Steve says I pay $840 per month. Oh yeah, that's a sweet deal. For mine, and it will be paid for this summer. I'm thinking about adding a truck soon. Steve, what is your truck? How new is it? Because I probably could have got a payment like that on a 2015, 16, or 17 truck. I wanted the fuel economy. I love this truck. This is all I've ever driven, except for once, for a short period. I drove a international for about 2 months with FedEx. This is my truck. I love this truck. There's nothing, to me, there's nothing like a Freightliner, okay? I'm a Freightliner fan. I know what I've driven through. I know the kind of work I performed in this truck. Not just this truck, but even at JB Hunt, this is what I drove. But it was, didn't have 2 bunks or whatever. But it was the same. It was a Cascadia. I worked that truck like crazy. And man, I'm sold. Because I work. I do not play. And this truck, I'm sold on it. I'm sorry. It's won my heart. So of course when I seen it on the list and the numbers looked good, I was like, and there's only been two drivers in this truck before me. I was like, that's my truck. So they flew me up to Minnesota to go get it. So I knew the payment, I knew I probably could have got a cheaper payment, but I wanted a newer truck and I wanted something that was still under warranty. So it was that too. Our Reefer 77 says, is the 14 cents per mile included in the 825? Yes. Well, no. Wait. No, it's not, because that's just my costs. That's my cost bucket. Since my maintenance fund, 9 cents of it is the extra. I added money to it, and the 2 cents that I put away per mile for my extra savings account, that is not included in that, because they make you put 9 cents per mile in there. That's included in my 825. They make you do that. Anything over and above, you have the choice to fluctuate that anytime you want. I've got it up to 14. I'm locking it in at 14. That's a good amount of savings to be putting away. Still leaves me a little bit of money left over to do what I need to do with the business. That's my number right now. Will Burner says, I'm late. What the hell are we talking about? Are you selling your truck? No, Steve wanted to know what my truck payment was. And so I kind of just went over the whole DART setup because people will ask. So I gave the clean and quick rundown of it. Steve says, I admire you for doing your research and going for it. Yeah, because I had such a good job at JB Hunt, guys. Like, I loved it there. There wasn't nothing wrong with it. I was so happy. I was home every weekend. It was a regional position out of Chicago. Like, I had it made. But when I got my CDL, this is, starting my trucking company and becoming an owner operator was what I was after from the get-go. So I had to work at company jobs. You have to have X amount of experience to come out and do this. It was 2 years when I signed up, and I was at JB to finish my 2 years experience and then be able to go to the next level. To me, this was the next level, and it was on my dream path, right? So far I've been still walking my dream path. Will Burner says, every storm that you weather and come out on the other end of makes you better owner operator. You learn from mistakes and apply what you've learned. Absolutely. In life, that is the way it is. As a human being, for God's sakes. Problem is, most people don't do that part. It's a great journey. I'm enjoying it. All the ups and downs and all of it. Like, I came for it all. Making another hot cup of coffee. And I think, and you say the same thing, Will Burner. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what we fall in love so much and get addicted to about that. It's an addict, right? You get addicted to the journey. This is a thing where you can always grow. And I think in just jobs, JOBs, I think people lose that thrive because it's not available to them to always grow. Some jobs it is, but most of the jobs aren't that. It's like, this is the job. And so you start getting just bored with it or not passionate about it because there's nowhere else to go. There's nothing challenging you or nothing driving you or inspiring you about it, right? Trucking has all of that. Trucker Jason says, congrats to you, Shannon. You have the willpower to succeed. Oh, failure is not an option, brohams. Failure is not an option. If worse came to worse and I had to pivot, I would pivot. Like I said, I have a lot to fall back on. I just go back to what I was doing. I'd be home every weekend, see my freaking family more. I'd have money. Like, to me, that's the easy way out. Like, does it cross my mind? All the time. All the time, you guys. I miss my kids. I miss those little grandbabies I got running around. I miss feeling like I can wake up in my own house and just have a cup of coffee and look outside and know what I have to do for the day. I miss that. But my God, I love this in some weird ass way. Like, it's so, and I love getting up and having my coffee here, but, you get homesick. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I'm not a woman that acts on emotions. In business, you can't act on emotions. If you do, you're going to set yourself up for some obstacles in business. You've got to be able to separate that stuff. You do have to consider your emotions in the long term, right? I have a family to consider. I have, but a lot of this is part of something bigger to take care of them too, right? So that's in my heart. That's what drives me. But when you are a business owner, you've got to be able to separate your emotions and the machine that you have to be. Not completely, right? But just because you're having it's like this, to put it in simple terms. If you're having a bad day and you don't want to go to work, you'll call in sick, but you won't quit, right? It's the same thing. You got to be conscious. You got to be in control of yourself, control your emotions, and control your business and the best you can. And you know what I mean? But you can't. Like, I miss them so bad. And I think about moves in my business, like, so it's going to allow me to not die being away from my family the whole time. I got to come up with something a little different. But that's what this is for, to get to that point. The fur kid is funny to watch. Yeah, she's so funny. Listen, she does some of the funniest stuff when I can't get to the camera fast enough. And it sucks because it's such great stuff. Like, she's so silly. And she's loving the snow, by the way. She loves it. Steve says, reefer, what's the 14 cents per mile for? The 14 cents per mile is what I have that goes every time off of every load into my maintenance fund. Gold Phoenix says, you'll love Freightliner until you drive a Peterbilt. Yeah, you guys say that, but I've also talked to people, there's a comfort thing, okay? I'll give you that. I'm sure it's way more comfortable. And I'm sure I would get in that Pete and I'd be like, oh, this is glorious, right? But this baby does the work. Like, I'm not saying a Pete don't, but I got issues with driving a French-owned company machine. I'll just say it point blank. I love my machine. And it worked. Like, it's proven to me that this thing is built to work. Wheel burner, back me up on this. Just saying. He knows. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Gold Things. I'm sure it's a luxury ride. I'm sure it's like, woo, I know. Reefer 77 says, Shannon said she puts 40. Yeah. Okay. Jerome Jones says, it tracks your phone as soon as you go over 10 or 15 miles per hour, just as long as you're not using any distracting apps like Instagram and Facebook. Oh, that's interesting. That's easy money, bro. That's easy money. Thanks for putting that out there, Jerome. Jerome's helping us get paid. Scorpion Trucker says, I love my Freightliner too. It is a great tool for my business. It is. To me, it is the best tool there is. And I'm not just trying to be fangirl, okay? I'm talking about the get down nuts and bolts of work in the truck, a working machine. Like, these things take a beating, man. Steve says, okay, no, that's just my loan payment. Oh, okay. Wow. Mine is a 2015. Ouch. I got a loan from my local bank. Okay. Yeah, but I'm sure that you got that payment set to pay that sucker off. That's cool. That is cool. With both feet is in the house and says, good morning, everybody. Hope all is well. Good morning. Good morning. I'll make you uncomfortable is in the house. He says, good morning. Good morning, Robin. How are you today? I hope you're well up there in Canada. Reefer 77 says, does art require 2 years recent OTR? I don't know how recent it has to be. I think they just want you to have that. But however, let me tell you, because of driver needs, they may have to do that time required. So if anybody calls a recruiter, call Jake. He's like a great recruiter, and tell him Shannon Thomas told you to call. And if you are going to call there, if you're thinking about going there, call me for my number. At least I can make a 500 off of it or something. I'll give you my driver number, and then you can give it to Jake. But yeah, Jake is really great about being honest and telling you all the details. That's why I say call Jake. I'll make you uncomfortable says emotions. What are those? Right. David Edwards is in the house. Good morning, David Edwards. Get your coffee, Dave, and your Store Lord coffee cup if you have one. We're talking about trucks, talking about trucking. We're talking about my business, and the dog and coffee, and the market. With both feet says, you like Germans over the French? No, I like my Detroit diesel, which is built right in my state of Michigan in Detroit. I know right where this motor's built at. And I've shipped them before. Got them picked up in my trailer. It's the most beautiful thing you ever saw. But yeah, right there. And I worked for Chrysler, who owns Freightliner. And yes, I know some of their parts get done in Mexico, but this motor is built right in Detroit. Right around the corner from my house, which is not right around the corner technically, but yeah, right at home. So yeah, I like that. I'll take that over everything else. I'll make you uncomfortable says keep comfortable out of it. That's my better half. Stepped into trucking says I love my KW. Yeah, I wanted a Kenworth when I first came to Dart. I was like, I'm going to get a Kenworth because I've just been driving a stinky old Freightliner. But man, the Kenworths they were T680s, and they all looked beat the hell up. And I was like, ew. And the numbers on them, right? I was like, And at that time, like, the KWs were stacking up in lots because of chip shortages and all that stuff was going on when KW was, like, really getting messed up with that. So I started rethinking my decision. Like, that's not happening to Freightliners. I'm going to go get that Freightliner. Changed my mind. Because, yeah, I was bent on getting a Kenworth. Make you uncomfortable says German. Trucking with T-Bone says he meant to say until you drive a Western Star. I have never even been in a Western Star. I'd love to see one, like get my hands on one, check it out. Gold Phoenix says, yeah, Freightliners are workhorses. I had one for 2 weeks and I couldn't stand my body hurting every day, though, personally. So I'm good in it because I'm used to it. But I did buy a nice gel cushion for my back and for the seat, and that fixes everything. And if I ever buy the truck, I'll go get I can put my own seat in here. So I take all the pros and cons, and if the seat is the only thing that makes my decision for the tool, for the business, it's like, my business isn't about comfort. It's about work, getting work done, and staying on the road with less downtime, right? So, although it'd be sweet to have all that comfort, it's not what makes the decision at the end of the day for the business, right? You don't buy a wrench because it has a soft handle. If it's, in, I don't know, probably not a good analogy. David Osborne says, I'm getting my CDL in April. Yay! I have a service dog. How hard is it to travel with the dog? Well, I've got a crazy kangaroo monkey puppy, and she gets bored, and it makes me kind of feel bad because we can't stay outside and walk around all day or play all day. But she's adjusted and she's doing well. And so hasn't been hard for me. I never wanted a dog. I've always been alone, so this is like the first time I've decided to like let my guard down and let a dog into my cab with me. But she's fun. She's a pup, that's what makes it fun. I don't know how people do it with a big dog though, because there's not a lot of room in here. So if you're a pit bull guy, if you're a German Shepherd guy, I don't know how you do it. Dee Dee will only get about 40 pounds and medium size. So her size is not going to be an issue. Guys got big dogs, man. I don't know if that's necessarily, in my opinion, fair to the dog, but to each their own. I'm sure they make adjustments. Like, you have to let your dog exercise. You have to figure out how to let your dog be a dog too. There's times I need to spend a little bit extra longer to let her play, or ask people if she can play with their dog so she can be a dog. I think it would be harder to travel with a woman, maybe. That's my opinion. I don't know. What do you think? Think dogs are easier to travel with than women, guys? Should we take a poll? I'm just being funny. Nothing against women or whatever. I just know we're complicated. I think dogs would probably be easier. I don't know. Never teamed with a woman. I don't plan on it. Didn't want to be a trainer either. I didn't want nobody else in my truck. And that's why I never even would get a dog. Got my little warm up now and my coffee, my favorite coffee cup. You can get one of these at Snorlord's channel in his merch tent, by the way. Yeah, assembled in Detroit. I'm happy with that. Yes, but Daimler's headquarters is in Germany, owns Mercedes, which owns Freightliner. Yeah, well, I'm not one to ever think that German engineering is not ultra fantastic. I know because I've worked with them. That's what I did. I worked in engineering at Chrysler, and them guys and them engineers in Germany are freaking amazing. Like, that's what made my job cool. I got to meet people like that, and it was amazing. I got to watch them work. I got to see, be in the meetings, and they're very, very smart. And then the performance of the German cars, like, shut up. I mean, I don't know that French are really like killing the car game or ever. That's not like their stereotype. And I'm not trying to start a battle, guys. I'm just telling you that's where my opinions are based. Freight shaker, right, Robin? Gold Phoenix says, I agree. I got a Pete mostly because I plan to train in it, to be honest. Needed students to get the best rest while possible. Oh, man, that's a champion decision. That is a champion decision. Because, yeah, if it was that case and I wasn't planning on buying the truck and whatever and all that, like, I'd want to have the maximum amount of living space if I'm going to have another person in there. And yeah, excellent. I never really thought about that. That's really smart, Gold Phoenix. Hit that like button, clowns. Chicago 420's in the house. Where are the lot lizards at? Not at my party, baby. Mm-mm. Old school, new school says, if I were to ever train, that truck would not team ever. What? Okay, so I don't know what you mean. Because if you train, you're teaming. Usually. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I've never been a trainer. Dart did ask me to train. JB Hunt did ask me to train. I'm a runner. I'm out here on purpose. Like I'm working on something totally different. I don't want to let somebody else put a scratch on my truck. God forbid what they'd have to suffer from me after that. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it's because it's my truck. It's because I'm planning on paying for it. If it wasn't, maybe I'd have different feelings. But at the same time, like I practice every day on being on point with stuff. And I guess I'm the kind of personality is like this stuff would, the slowdown of it and and I have the patience, but when it comes to making the income, I'm full speed ahead. When you have to train someone, unless you're a company, like I could have done it at JB Hunt. But at that point, it's like, I still don't want nobody in my truck. But I was newer then, you know. Now I don't know. I don't know. I just it doesn't intrigue me at all. And God bless you, Gold Phoenix, for doing it. Because I don't, whatever that is that requires, I just don't think I have it. I'm a great teacher. I've always been a great trainer and teacher. I've always trained employees at jobs. But shoot, I've trained engineers on how to use Windows. So I got that. But this is a season in my life that a lot of things are going on that I need, that I'm working on myself. I'm trying to focus on myself, my business, making myself better, building my business. Like all kinds of things are going on that I just don't. I mean, the dog was a big decision to me because I'm like, is it going to cause me too much distraction? I don't want to be distracted. You know, the maximum measure of my distraction is my YouTube time. You know, so that's kind of how I roll. You know, so I just don't know. I don't think I'm the best candidate to be a trainer, at least not at this point in my career. Robin says, I train my butt to use the toilet. Thank God, Robin. I wouldn't have it any other way. Bill of the Woods is in the house. Good morning, Bill of the Woods. What's up? And old school, I'm sorry, I didn't say good morning. I just read your comment. Good morning, old school, new school's in the house. And Chicago 420. Wanting to know where the lot lizards are at today. They're not in here, Chicago 420. I'm sorry. Robin says it listens sometimes. Reefer 77 says old school. Yes, trainers should never run as a team operation. Okay. Well, there's stuff I don't know then. Old school, new school says in most cases, most companies want you to team the truck after a week. That would not happen with me. Okay. I see what you're saying now. Yeah, because that's what I thought. With both visas at Chicago, the new Loves is open in Gary. Probably have Lot Lizard grand opening specials. Yeah, that's right up the road from me right now, actually. Angel Ortiz is in the house. Hi, Angel. Hope is going well for you and the missus there. Good morning, Miss Lady. How you doing today? I'm doing great. I'm up in the cold in Indiana. It's snow out here. I'll be back down to Florida eventually. I just don't know when yet, but I hope you guys are doing very well. God bless you. And Gold Phoenix says training is incredibly stressful. And that's how I imagine it. And it comes with a lot of sleepless nights. And it's why I haven't trained all winter. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a jerk because I'm like, I can't trust, but you can't. But you can't. Even when you want to, you can't really completely where you can sleep at night, like completely. And it's one mistake. Like, that's a huge deal. If I make one bad mistake, I could be dead. Other people could be dead or hurt. You're asking me to trust someone who is not used to driving this machine. You're asking me to put my life in their hands. That is huge. And yeah, for a little bit of extra pay, maybe sometimes a lot. But then I got to ask myself for principle. Am I willing to sell that risk to buy that, like to take on that risk for that amount of money and put other people in danger? God forbid. I don't know. I like to look at things from a million different angles. I see which one feels right. Because you got to consider everything. I think it makes you a good problem solver when you say, okay, well, let's look at it from this perspective, and then let's look at it from that perspective, and then let's look at it, and then what else could happen. I try to think things through a lot before I can move. So I'll be slow and I'll spend my time. I like to be a very careful decision maker versus a spur of the moment or emotional decision maker. Because I do mistakes, hence my trip to Nevada. I didn't think that one all the way through or take the time to research it enough. I just went like. Thing says you're near Gary. Yeah, I'm at this big old truck and parking lot before you get to Gary, just off the side of the highway. But yeah, I'm headed into Illinois to pick up my load to take it down to Tennessee to where did I say it was? We're picking up in Brookfield, Illinois, and we're going to Newport, Tennessee with a big heavy load of stuff for whiskey. So I don't know what the stuff is yet. But anyways, I want to have coffee with you guys. It's been a great chat. We got a lot of cool information. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Please hit the like if you haven't already. And I just want to say God bless you. Love you. Be safe out there. And until next time, it's about 10:41. I got a little bit of time to get ready because I want to head over there about noon so I can be there an hour early because I love to be early. See if I can get that load early. And I don't know how slippery the roads really are. So we got to give ourselves plenty of time and ease into the situation to be safe. So have a great day. Have a profitable day if you can. Book your loads ahead. And thanks for hanging out. You guys are the best. And I will see you next time. Thank you.